Juan Lozano is the news director of our own CityTV in Bogota, where 11 journalists have been killed, well, this year alone. So there are parts of the world where they don't send you a letter and they don't go to Speaker's Corner. They just come after you. So he's been threatened, he's been shot at. The general manager of CityTV Bogota was taken by some kidnappers, though that story had a very happy ending. Juan will fill you in on the rest.
Thank you very much, Moses. Well, I'm very happy being here, honored by this invitation. I must say at the beginning that please forgive not my English with accent, but rather my Spanglish. It's this new language that in some places of Colombia we speak when we travel abroad. So some verbs don't get in the proper time, some words you won't recognize, but I'll try to do my way. And this day is for me a very, very happy day because I'm here and because this morning I received a very early phone call from my wife in Colombia, and she told me that little Maria Lozano, that is going to be my first baby, would be born next week when I'm back in Colombia, and probably by Friday or Saturday, Maria will come to join us. And when we live in such a wonderful country like Colombia, beautiful, courageous, brave, vital, but at the same time with so many security difficulties. Life is somehow a miracle, and the miracle of Maria coming underlines all our faith and our opportunities and responsibilities. When you're walking in the edge, life and death are every day there, and you need to go to overcome your fear, to make a bet on life every day, and to make sure that what you are doing is good for people around you, in your family, in your city, in your country. August 18th, 1989, I finished serving as a major in a small town close to Bogota. I was very, very young. I was 22, and Luis Carlos Galán, who was a very brave Colombian leader, was the first that appointed Pablo Escobar as the head of the Medellin cartel, was running for president. And Galán running for president was about democracy in Colombia, about freedom in Colombia, about fighting drug lords in Colombia, but about helping mankind, rising and making awareness about what the drug lords were doing 12 years ago. When we went to a public hearing with Galán, then he called me to serve as his private secretary. We went to a public hearing in Soacha near Bogota. We jumped over to the place where Galán was starting his speech, and suddenly he was killed. I was right behind him. He was shot down. We took Galán to a hospital. At that time, we were not sure if Galán was alive. I was hoping that he was just unconscious, but they killed him, and they could have killed all of us there. In fact, they killed 3 more people that were there. Next day, our challenge was to keep moving, to again bet on life, and to avoid that fear made us run away. If we all run away, never our country will overcome this difficult night with drug lords. 6 years later, I was at El Tiempo, our newspaper in Bogota, and we started investigating about drug money entering into President Ernesto Samper's campaign. At the beginning, they all claimed that that was not true, and we started working hard for the stories, and we found that it was really what happened in that campaign. And we published and we signed and we started a public awareness saying, with this wonderful and vital country we have, this cannot go on and on. And the next day, we started receiving letters saying that if we don't stop the series, those were our last works. And next day, and the next, and the next, we kept on publishing, pointing what was happening, saying that our commitment was with our country, with our people, and with journalism. So, being alive is not just theory. Last year, we had around 30,000 violent killings in Colombia. 30,000. From those 30,000, around 5,000 came from guerrilla and from right-wing paramilitares. 5,000. Both guerrillas and paramilitares in the drug business, receiving drug money, killing our people. But other 25,000 coming from the sense of violence that we have with our big conflicts, but killings on the streets, on our city, on every Friday, every Saturday. And there is where our big commitment and our big opportunity with media arises. These figures make a big contrast with 35 good, very good Colombians that every morning wakes up thinking on how to make their way, how to generate work, how to generate new companies, how to rebuild our country. And our responsibility in media, of course, is learning and giving proper, adequate information about the conflict, but having the ability of recognizing life and hope and faith in the stories of 35 good Colombians that are there every single day. And what we learned here with the CityTv model here in Toronto was that if you bet on people's side, you would have every day wonderful stories that keep this life going on. Think that long ago when Moses started City, never thought that concept of having news with the people, together with people's concerns, with people's hearts, with people's families, was so important in a country like Colombia. When we started the channel, some media experts were wondering, what are these guys doing? Why didn't they start this morning with the 10 killings in Usaquén? Why they didn't show us again the sad story about we are telling them that those things are happening, but we are giving hope, recognizing the good engineer, the good lawyer, the good woman in his house. Beautiful stories about our kids that really makes us confident that our country will go up to the other side, and that being in media is an enormous opportunity to help our country to learn about our strengths, our capacities, our courage, and to overcome all what we've gone through. And the role of this type of media that really broke all the public debate about media in Colombia is that we are a peace instrument. We are a development instrument. Last week, I was in Washington at a World Bank conference talking about governance. And they are not talking exclusively to officials as they did before. They are talking to vital components in our society as media, and recognizing what we can do in media to keep our country moving. So sometimes we have fear, yes. Sometimes our best friends are shut down, yes. Our colleagues are threatened, yes. But we have the capacity and the commitment and the decision of learning about those wonderful stories, about how to overcome, how to win in our life's quest. And perhaps the big conclusion is that if you're doing journalism in a country like Colombia, you take the risk of being there, but with the certainty that you're doing good for your country, good for your people, and that the possibility that we have on our CityTv channel is that people watching there says there are many, many good reasons to keep going and to go to the other side. My wife told me that Maria Lozano sends you all a big hello from Colombia, and I'll tell Maria about this wonderful conference here in Toronto. Thank you very much.